Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm kind of doing a few of these because I have some spare time today. It is Wednesday, February 2nd, although most of you wouldn't care. I'm in Illinois, and there's a massive snowstorm that's blown through, so I am off today. And so I just thought I'd go ahead and do some videos, and in between this, watching a few movies. Kind of catch up on that. I've had Netflix movies sitting over there. Yes, movies, 8. I do the old school thing. And I stream too, but this is not relevant. But I have 8 of them sitting over there, and they've been over there since just after Thanksgiving. So I've just been holding on to movies, and that annoys me. So anyways, none of that matters. This is another episode. I started on the MrBallen Lost episodes on 5 because it said the Cave of Death, and I don't like caves. So I don't know why I started with a random one. So I'm going to do the other ones. But I clicked on this one next. It's the White Island Tragedy. I don't know what it is, but let's get into it. I shouldn't have to tell you this by now, but if you like the video, great. Give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this, great. Subscribe to the channel. If you don't like any of it, then don't do any of it. I'm not begging you. You got things to do, so do I.
White Island in New Zealand is one of the world's most accessible volcanoes, with only a third of its cone protruding from the water and one of its walls having fallen in, creating a sort of natural drawbridge.
That's really,
all it takes
really
is a
nice.
90-minute boat ride or a 20-minute helicopter ride, and you could be stepping off directly into the crater. The island
Did it say active volcano?
The island has a definite menace to it, with the acrid air and the acid lake inside of an inner depression, and the abandoned sulfur mine where in 1914, 10 men were swept away to their deaths by a mud avalanche. When this mine closed in the 1930s, the island was largely forgotten about for several decades, until the 1990s when adventure tourism really started to heat up around the globe, and locals in New Zealand started taking advantage by offering boat rides and plane rides out to this kind of otherworldly volcano island. And soon, guidebooks were calling a tour of White Island an unmissable trip. Once on the island, tourists were taken on a very established route that started on the southern end of the island on a jetty. They'd walk up a dirt path, they'd go directly through the crater down to this inner depression where they could look over at this acid lake, and then they'd turn around and they'd walk right back, passing by the abandoned sulfur mine on their way back to the jetty. Tourists of all ages could complete this route in about an hour and a half. This volcano is very closely monitored by a geological monitoring service called GeoNet. Every day they rate the danger this island presents on a 0 to 5 scale, and tours are only allowed to take place if it's 0, 1, or 2. Anything above 2 and it's too dangerous. On November 19th, 2019,
It is active then.
GeoNet rated the danger of the island as a 2, saying that it looks like, eruptive activity is more likely, but still safe for tourism. Now, make no mistake, anybody that went out to White Island was made fully aware of the risks of going out to the island, including that rating system. Hey, today's a 2, so it's on the upper bounds of what's acceptable, but that was part of the thrill of going out to White Island. It was like you're brushing up with death, but
Hell
it feels
no.
really safe because the guides are out there with you and they're kind of joking about how it might erupt any day. You could be enveloped in an acid mist and obliterated by rocks.
Yeah,
and
fun
that
day.
was like kind of fun. And so when the rating was bumped up to a 2, suddenly people were more inclined to go. It was more exhilarating.
Why are people stupid sometimes? Why do we humans, and it's mostly white people, let's be honest, put ourselves in these situations? Why do we do that? Why? There's no reason for it.
Fast forward a few weeks to December 9th, the GeoNet rating is still at a 2, and 5 groups of tourists headed out that morning for White Island. You had 3 big groups that were in 3 separate boats, and you had 2 smaller groups that were in their own helicopter. They made their way out and they arrived around 1 p.m. and they began staggering tours up the path, down into the crater, down to the acid lake, and then back out again. By about 2 p.m., 2 of the large groups that came in on boats had finished their tour, got back on their boats, and were ferrying around just offshore, taking pictures of the island.
It does look very cool,
though.
though.
2 helicopter groups had already boarded their helicopter.
But I don't want anything to do with it.
At 2:09 p.m., 47 tourists and guides were still on the island. 26 were down near the jetty, waiting to board their boat to leave. and 21 were still deep inside of the crater. 1 minute later, at 2:10 p.m., one of the cameras operated by GeoNet to measure volcanic activity on the island snapped this picture of the 21 people down in the crater. Now, the image is not clear enough to make out individuals, but you can clearly see body shapes.
You can see people.
It looks like they are relaxed, walking in a straight line, making their way back to the jetty. For all but 3 of them, this would be the final picture of them taken alive. 1 minute later, at 2:11 p.m., the volcano erupted, consuming almost everyone inside of the crater, sending steam and ash and acidic mist 2 miles into the air, followed immediately by another explosion that went horizontally, firing rocks and more acid and boiling steam in all directions. Of the 47 people that were still on the island when it erupted, 19 died instantly and 2 more would succumb to their injuries later. These survivors required so many skin grafts that New Zealand put out a global order for 33.8 square meters, the equivalent of 16 bodies worth. One tourist named
I didn't remember hearing anything about, I mean, it was New Zealand, so, wow.
Alessandro Kaufman was on White Island that day. He was one of the tourists that was in one of the 5 groups of people that went out. He was in one of the boats, and he was one of the last people to get off right before it erupted, literally minutes before.
Lucky.
And he was filming as his boat was loitering just offshore, waiting for the last 47 people to leave the island. Here's what he shot.
Heading to White Island, okay. Look at that, just the I don't know, the smoke, whatever you want to call it, just the acid or whatever it is. That would put me off right away. I don't even like going on volcanoes that aren't active. No. It does look really cool though. It looks like you're walking on a different planet. This is where the little creatures from Tremors live.
Like people sat there for about 2 years.
Yeah, see, that's what disturbs me. No.
Iniciamos às 10, são quase 2 horas da tarde, finalizando aqui.
Leaving White Island, okay.
É isso, agora partiu pro continente.
Oh. Oh wow, you hear people saying go, 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 go.
Man, look. Jeez. I don't know. Come on. Let's get off here.
That kind of reminds me of on 9/11 when you know the smoke and everything that came through, and it's like you're trying to run from it, but it's just gonna get there eventually. You can run, and it will eventually run out of steam. But I know this isn't the same. It's a different kind of thing, but it still looks the same. You know, that initial look is similar.
Jesus. Oh.
So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's episode, let us know in the comments what...
I know what the secret is. Don't go to the White Island. I wonder if it's still open. I could look, but I'm not going to. I will. I'll end up looking later. But man, I wonder... It's a tourist thing, so you know they want to keep it open, and you are taking the responsibility of it, but I want nothing to do with that. No. No. All right, like and subscribe, yada yada yada. You can follow me on Twitter. It's in the link. Will be in the description. Wow, it's crazy. I'm gonna start looking up more of these lost episodes because I don't want to say I'm enjoying them, but they just give me places to not go, like caves and White Island. All right, I hope everyone's having a good day, and goodbye.